This documentation is not financial advice, and leverage above 10 is strictly prohibited. Do not invest essential personal funds. This analysis is presented strictly as part of our public model documentation. The asset under review is copper. Specifically, we are documenting Cycle 2, currently in Phase 4. This cycle follows the defined alternative path sequence. The progression moves non-linearly from Phase 1 directly to Phase 3, down to Phase 2, and finally concludes in Phase 4. The outcome of this alternative geometric path relies entirely on strict mathematical execution, requiring no predictive analysis or conventional market assumptions. This chart establishes the starting geometric boundaries on February 17, 2026. The initial position opens at the primary entry M level at $5.7177. A secondary entry constraint is set at the PC level of $5.5392, which calculates to a mean entry price of $5.6284. The base geometric time constraint, the trapezoid time duration, is fixed at exactly 32 days. The percentage-based risk parameters assign a third triangle domain of 7.84%, alongside a risk coefficient value of 2. Multiplying the triangle domain by the risk coefficient sets the total risk domain at 15.68%. Execution is bound to a baseline hypothetical capital of $100,000. The absolute risk limit is strictly capped. The expected max drawdown cannot exceed 5%, or $5,000. Correlating these risk limits to price action sets the expected low price boundary at $4.7459. Using these variables, the total position size mathematically calculates to exactly 0.56. Dividing that position size determines the final parameter for each trade size, resulting in 0.28. Both trade sizes are calculated using the hypothetical capital, the investor's maximum allowed drawdown, the third triangle domain percentage, the risk coefficient, and the contract size. The model maps three predefined target levels: Target 1 at the lower trapezoid of 5.75, Target 2 at apex N of 5.9415, and Target 3 at the trapezoid top of 6.0825. For scenario number 2, calculations project an expected total profit of $2,147.88, generating a 2.05% return. Establishing these rigid numerical domains in Phase 1 creates the mathematical framework required to safely navigate all subsequent interactions with the geometric structures. The timeline advances to March 10, 2026, tracking the price movement immediately following the initial entry at M. This chart documents the price ascending directly to the N level at 5.9415, fulfilling Phase 3 completion. This triggers half of the open position to be released, mechanically securing $313 into the safety buffer and firmly shifting execution onto the alternative path. The progression moves to April 8, 2026, capturing the significant price decline following the Phase 3 exit. The asset value drops to a specific cycle low of $5.2441. Crossing this threshold triggers the secondary position opening at the predefined PC price level of $5.5392. This chart tracks the price recovering to touch the trapezoid lower boundary at $5.75, fulfilling Phase 2. The previous decline represented the maximum realized drawdown of -$1,839. Crucially, the structural parameters perfectly contained this drawdown within the rigid $5,000 limit. Moving to the current date of April 14, 2026, we document the final upward leg of the alternative path. This chart tracks the price from the lower boundary to apex N, securing $877 into the safety buffer. The ascent touches the trapezoid upper boundary at $6.0825. Completing Phase 4 and Copper Cycle 2 triggers the release of the stored field into realized capital. Scenario number 2 originally projected a profit of $2,147.88, but the actual realized profit totals $2,325. This breaks down cleanly: $1,190 from the safety buffer, combined with $1,135 generated from the Phase 4 completion. The projection expected a 2.05% return, but the execution achieved a final realized return of 2.32%. The maximum realized drawdown reached only negative 1.84%. The actual time duration required exactly 36 days. This concludes the technical documentation. These outcomes prove the rigid Phase 1 parameters, successfully mapped and survived the nonlinear geometric journey of the alternative path.